into mines, they tried to bury Frantz Fanon and Francis Cress. Wells and Hook. What if I told you two black thinkers shook governments not with guns, but with ideas, and that's why you barely hear their names in school. Frantz Fanon, the doctor who diagnosed empire. Fanon grew up under colonial rule, trained as a psychiatrist, then went straight into the fire of the Algerian liberation struggle. His insight was radical. Colonialism isn't just land theft, it's mind theft. He showed how racism fractures identity, how oppression lives inside the nervous system, and how liberation must heal the mind and the nation. Why power feared him. Fanon did unjust critique empire. He explained how it works and how people could break free. His writing gave colonized people language, confidence, and clarity. That's dangerous to any system built on obedience. Why schools sidestep him. Because he teaches students to ask, who benefits from this? Systems don't love mirrors. Francis Cress Welsing, the psychiatrist who questioned the code. Decades later, in the U.S., Dr. Welsing asked an uncomfortable question. What if racism isn't random, but systemic, psychological, and strategic? Her work challenged society to examine power, fear, and survival behavior, not as insults, but as patterns. She demanded evidence, logic, and self-knowledge. Agree or disagree, you had to think. Why power feared her. She pulled racism out of the shadows and put it on the lab table. When people start naming systems, systems start losing control. Why schools avoid her? Because she refused to dilute hard questions. Institutions prefer comfort over confrontation. Where their paths meet, they never sat at the same table, but their work converged. Both were psychiatrists. Both treated oppression as a mental and social illness. Both believed freedom begins with understanding how power shapes identity. Fanon diagnosed colonial trauma on a global scale. Welsing examined racial power dynamics at the core of American life. Different eras, same courage, same threat to the status quo. Notice the pattern. When ideas teach people to see, those ideas get sidelined. What we must learn from their path. Mental liberation matters. Freedom isn't only laws, it's consciousness. Education is power. What's left out of textbooks is often what matters most. Critical thinking is revolutionary. Asking why changes futures. How we advance the movement starting now. Read widely, not just officially. Seek original voices. Teach the next generation how to question, not just memorize. Build communities of study and dialogue, online or in person. Create media that tells the full story. Shorts, podcasts, classrooms, living rooms. A brighter future doesn't start with silence. It starts with truth, courage, and clarity.